Many of you might have heard this term, the Bhima Koregaon case or the Elgar Parishad case. Over the last few years, this case has come to define the battle between the activists and the government, and a large number of well-known activists have been imprisoned till today by the NIA using the special powers of the UAPA or the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act. How did we get here? What's the Bhima Koregaon case or Elgar Parishad? Today I'm going to give you an understanding of this sequence of events that spans over 203 years. Yes, that's correct. 203 years. This is a story of two battles. One battle fought in 1818 and the other one in 2018. While the first battle lasted for a day and a half, its effect has lasted for 2 centuries. The second battle is still ongoing for over 3 years now and has immense significance for our society of today. By 1817, the Peshwas had been reduced to weaklings by the 2 previous Anglo-Maratha wars. Peshwa Baji Rao II had fled Pune. He was attempting to attack it from outside in December of that year. A 28,000 strong force led by the Peshwa was on their way to attack the company-held Pune, but they were unexpectedly met by an 800 strong company force that was on its way to reinforce the troops in Pune. The Peshwa dispatched around 2,000 soldiers to attack the force, which sought entrenchment in Koregaon. Led by Captain Francis Taunton, the company troops defended their position for nearly 12 hours before the Peshwa's troops ultimately withdrew. They feared the arrival of a larger British force. The battle took place at Koregaon on the banks of the river Bhima, and hence the name the Bhima Koregaon battle. The 834 soldiers of the British army that day defeated close to 2,000 troops of the Peshwa army. The British lost 49 soldiers in that battle, and there is a pillar in Koregaon that has the name of all 49. 22 of them were Mahars or Dalits, and over the course of the 20th century, this pillar became a symbol for the Dalits in the Dalit movement. It came to symbolize the battle between the lower caste and upper caste, and the victory of East India Company over the Peshwas came to be seen as a victory of the Mahars over the Brahmins. B.R. Ambedkar, who was a very popular Dalit leader, visited the site on Jan 1st, 1927 along with his followers for the 110th anniversary of the battle. This led to further crystallization of the pillar as a symbol for the Dalit movement. Over the years, while there have been visitors to the pillar on the anniversary of that battle, it is only in the last 20 years that the pillar has risen in prominence for the backward and marginalized classes of our society today. On December 1st, 2017, a large number of Dalit organizations had gathered at Pune in the Shanirwada fort for cultural events. This event was called the Elgar Parishad. Elgar means loud declaration. The Shanirwada fort was the base of the Peshwa kings. The Elgar Parishad event was sponsored and organized by Justice Kolse Patil and Justice Sawant, both retired High Court and Supreme Court judges. By all counts, the event was vibrant with song, dance and plays which stood against caste discrimination and stood for the rights that our constitution gives us. The next day, on Jan 1st, 2018, the people gathered went on a procession towards the Bhima Koregaon pillar to commemorate the 200th anniversary of the battle. 2 Hindutva organizations who were opposed to this gathering took out a simultaneous procession too. Invariably, clashes broke out between the 2 groups, and this resulted in the death of 1 individual and many people being injured too. The 2 Hindutva organizations were Shiv Pratap Bhumi Mukti Andolan and Shiv Pratishthan Hindustan. Milind Ekbote is the founder of Shiv Pratap Bhumi Mukti Andolan. Sambhaji Bide is a Hindutva activist from Maharashtra and was a full-time worker for the RSS before leaving to form the Shiv Pratishthan Hindustan in the late 80s. Immediately after the clashes on Jan 1st, the Pune Rural Police and the Pune City Police filed 2 separate FIRs. The Rural Police filed an FIR against Milind Ekbote and Sambhaji Bide. Despite the Supreme Court ordering their arrest, they have never been arrested to this date. The Pune City Police, on the other hand, filed an FIR against the Parishad organizers that they were guilty of inflammatory speeches which led to the violence. The first charge sheet was filed by the Pune Police in November 2018. It named activists Sudhir Dhawale, Rona Wilson, Surendra Gadling, Shoma Sen, Mahesh Raut, all of whom were arrested in June 2018. A supplementary charge sheet was filed later in Feb 2019 against human rights activists Sudha Bharadwaj, Varavara Rao, Arun Ferreira, Vernon Gonzalez, and others. The accused were charged with waging war against the nation. The NIA took over the investigation in Jan 2020, 2 months after the BJP lost power in Maharashtra to the Shiv Sena NCP Congress combined. Father Stan Swamy and Professor Anand Teltumde were later dragged into the case and arrested in 2020. The NIA had claimed that there were incriminating documents that were found on some of the computers of the ones arrested, like Rona Wilson and Stan Swamy. During the course of this case, a reputed firm in cyber forensics, Arsenal Consulting, carried out a forensic investigation on the hard drives of the laptops. They have released the report on how these incriminating letters and emails were actually planted in those computers through very advanced and sustained hacking which went on for even years. They are sure that this level of infiltration is only possible by national governments or aided agencies. I have left a link in the description to the Arsenal Consulting report, which gives detailed information on the hacking and also provides evidence of the documents being planted. I have also left links in the description to the profiles of all the 16 arrested in the Bhima Koregaon case. Writers, poets, lawyers, activists, professors, most of them have dedicated their lives to fighting for the marginalized and the backward in our society and for constitutional equality for all. Their courage and their unshakable belief in their principles and work, despite all the hardships they face, is truly remarkable and inspirational. I have covered the death of Father Stan Swamy in another video, and many others too are of an advanced age. UAPA is being misused greatly to deny people the chance at justice or a speedy trial, and the process itself breaks the accused. Arun Ferreira, for example, was arrested in 2007 under UAPA and kept in jail for nearly 5 years, after which he was acquitted of all charges, released in 2011. Only to be arrested again in 2012, once again to be acquitted of all charges and released in 2014. Acquitted of all charges every time, but nonetheless spent 8 years in jail, and now again accused in this case. I urge each one of you to go through this information and know more about these seminal battles and moments in our lives today. These will shape the future of our country and our people for years and decades to come. Are we going towards a more mature, accommodating, tolerant tomorrow with greater freedom? Or are we headed in the other direction? It's all up to all of us. Thank you for giving me your time today. I apologize for not having been regular with my uploads. I started a new job about 6 weeks ago and I was trying to get a grip on this new normal way of working after taking a long break myself. I intend to now post frequently and regularly, and I hope you will continue to make some time for me when I do. Thank you.